Swimming like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Hey everybody, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. I'm your co-host Ted Jenkins, sitting here with my co-host Lee Heisman. Today, of course, our guest, Arun Nijhawan. I did that right today, didn't
Perfect.
I? Yeah, I was pretty good there. He's the owner of Lucror Properties right here in Atlanta, Georgia. They're doing amazing stuff with places like Old Fourth Ward, the Flatiron Building. Their projects are helping revitalize this city here in Atlanta. It's pretty amazing stuff today. As always, you can catch all of the replays of all of our amazing business owners at shrimptankpodcast.com, or you can hear us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or anywhere on the internet. Cat's replay of his entire interview was pretty awesome today.
Well, you know, the interview was amazing, and you've done so much in your career to get to where you are today with Lucror Resources. Tell our audience exactly what you do with that organization and how you've grown it.
Sure. I mean, Lucror Resources is an investment and real estate development company. What we take a look at is urban locations and try to add value. In my past life as a hedge fund, adding value meant buying a stock cheap and at 2 EBITDA and 3 EBITDA and make it go to 10 EBITDA. In real estate, for us, as value add is taking a look at underserviced areas and seeing the growth potential in them. Hence, we went into downtown Atlanta 4 or 5 years ago with a dilapidated Flatiron building and revitalized it to where today we both have entrepreneurs that are have clients like Delta and United and Qantas Airlines for their business to enterprise companies like Accenture's digital media. We going to the Old Fourth Ward. Obviously, everyone's heard about the Beltline, but then there's a gap between the Beltline and downtown, and we found a great location where we feel we can cater to reflect the community that's there and add value to the existing infrastructure that's in the Old Fourth Ward.
We had a great conversation today on the Tank talking about the major tax law changes that happened in 2017 in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, and this all came around with something called qualified opportunity zones or qualified opportunity funds. And I think most of our viewers may not have heard that term and how impactful it could potentially be to their portfolio. Most importantly, if they sell their business at a big capital gain. Talk about how that works and how it may be involved in the funds that you deal with.
Sure. I think it's a great opportunity both for real estate developers as well as investors in general. And so, for example, if you had a business or even if you had Microsoft stock and you wanted to sell that stock and you made a profit of 100, typically you would have to immediately pay taxes of 25%. You'd have 75 to reinvest. In this instance, the IRS allows you to keep the full 100, allows you to invest it in an qualified opportunity zone fund project, defer your taxes for until 2026, at which point you would pay either an 85% or 90% of the owed capital gains that you would typically owe today. So you've not only deferred it, you've also reduced what you would end up having to pay. And then for the investment that you actually make in the real estate and the gains you get rather from that real estate, if it's held there for 10 years, the capital gains tax would be zero.
Wow.
And so what this enables, what happens here is you have people that are typically wouldn't invest in real estate looking at this opportunity, and you're looking at areas that typically may not get that much capital put to work. So it's a win-win situation.
Very much a win-win. Well beyond my pay grade, and I'm very glad that I actually listened to the podcast that I was a part of today because I learned a lot. But also what I learned was the name Waldo and this amazing website that I happened to go to myself and look at before we met today. How did you come up with this name, and tell us what that's about?
It's not the Where's Waldo from the Van Halen days, no?
Well, it could be. It's whatever you want it to be. It's a reflection of the neighborhood. So Ralph Waldo Emerson, and he was about independence, creativity. And if you go into the Old Fourth Ward, and if we're true and authentic to the Old Fourth Ward, it's grown through people who are, whether it's a tattoo artist or a young business entrepreneur or older business entrepreneur for that matter, they have a true entrepreneurial spirit and culture and as a sense of individualism. So that's really how we came about with Waldo's. But of course, there may be some people that say, "Hey, where's Waldo?" And you know what? If that brings a smile to your face, then I love it.
It always brings a smile to my face.
So that's how we kind of came about with that name.
Well, how would people look this up? What is the website? How would they contact you if they want to learn more about that type of property that you're putting together?
Sure. Our website is waldosatl.com. The contact information is there. There's details about the project. And so you're free to take a look at that and reach out to us through that website.
Hey, well, we want to say thanks for coming on the podcast today and enjoying and joining us on the post-show wrap-up. And folks, Arun talked about a lot of stuff on the program today, and it reminded me that one of the things you must have as an entrepreneur is you must have the word vision. You need to be able to see where your company is going 5 or 10 years from now before all the employees who work for you, they can see where the company is going. And think about this. He took, like he just said, an old dilapidated building like the Flatiron. This was an unpolished gem, something that somebody said, what is this ever going to be but just an old building here in the city of Atlanta? And he was able to turn that in just a few years with his vision into a polished gem. That's exactly what you're doing with your business. Whether you have a startup or you have a takeover business, you're taking that unpolished gem, you're showing your employees, here's the vision for the future, and then you're executing your financial capital and your human capital to make that happen. If you do that, you bring the vision to your company, you will be a better entrepreneur. And that's the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp